Hello, I'm Nicolas David Nan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. So, what is Ascension? Well, I look at Ascension as the gradual raising of human consciousness out of the asleepness we've been in for the past couple of 100,000 years. We were gradually awakening and feeling and knowing that we're part of all that is. For what we've been involved in is called a game of separation from spirit. And this is where all that is, or God, or Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it, the creative intelligence of the universe, wanted to experience itself more. And so it took parts of itself and had those parts embody in a reality and forget that they were part of all that is. And those parts are us. And so we've been asleep a very long time. And the whole purpose of this experience was to gradually awaken and through the experience of life, know ourselves in very specific ways as all that is. For example, if we came into a lifetime of disempowerment, the whole point of that was that so that our soul could experience the process of coming back into empowerment viscerally and emotionally in a body. And there are many different experiences that all that is wishes to have while in a body. And so we're at a critical point in the Ascension process. We're approaching 2012, which has been bandied around as a very important date, and a lot of focus and energy has been put on that on December 2012. But I like to think of this process as more like a continuum. The Ascension process doesn't just happen at 2012, it's actually happening now. And as we raise in frequency and consciousness, we need to actually clear the emotional programs we carry, the karmic programs our soul brought in to put us to sleep. And as we clear those, what happens is that our heart starts to open, we start to become free of all the deep pain and challenges we've been facing in our lives. And as our heart opens, our spirit starts to flow through us. By spirit I mean the part of us which is outside the body, the soul is the part which is actually embodied. And as this starts to flow, it communicates to us through feeling and emotion in our body. And as we get clear enough emotionally and start to follow that feeling, we start to follow our spirit more and more so. Because the idea here is to drop out of the ego-mind, mental functioning that many of us have been in for a long time, and to drop into the heart and go with what feels right in each moment. It's called following spirit without hesitation, with each breath and each step. And as we start to do that and align with our spirit, our life starts to open up. It starts to flow more easily, because our spirit has a much bigger picture than our ego mind can ever have of what is the right thing to do in the right moment, the right thing to say, the right people to connect with. And as we start to do this dance of spirit, our life starts to transform. We start to create what we call heaven on earth. And this is not just a term that Christ used in the Bible, it's more about just flowing in alignment with the love that we are. And so what's happening is that we're deconstructing the old, what we call male-dominant civilization. It doesn't mean man-dominated, it's just the perspective we have of where the mind is in fear a lot of the time and needs to control everything because it feels that there's not enough. It believes it's separate from God. And so what's happening is that, as you can see around us, the civilization is deconstructing itself rapidly. Because December 2012 is a point in the Mayan astrological calendar where you make the shift into unity consciousness. So what does that mean? It means where we reach a critical mass of human consciousness, where enough people are starting to flow with their heart that we then start to co-create what we call heaven on earth, We start to co-create a new unity consciousness civilization based on trust and love, unconditionally loving ourselves and others, because we're no longer seeing each other as separate from each other. We'll start to know and feel, it's happening now, that when we look at someone else, we can see God in their eyes, we can see part of ourselves, because that's who they are and that's who we are. And you've heard about the term co-creating ascension, or co-creating heaven on earth. Well, what does that mean? Well, the creation part is basically saying to you that you are part of the Creator. And co-create means to create something with other embodied beings in this case. So as we start to follow our heart, as we start to go with the alignment of our spirit, we'll then connect to other beings who are awakening and do a dance with them, connect with them, do projects together, in an informal manner, and start to create a new civilization, which is what's happening now. So what we're doing is we're raising human consciousness here. And as we move beyond 2012, we're going to see a massive upheaval, massive changes in the way human civilization works, as we connect much more to spirit, as we connect to a more resonant, aligned state of being. And so this is an ongoing process, and it requires a lot of focus and intent on behalf of all of us, because we need to understand, well, what's my part to play in this? And that's programmed deep into your soul. It's called your divine purpose. Within the soul is what we call the spiritual map of life. It has a very specific purpose, a very specific gift it came here to bring to earth. And in order to access that, we've got to embody higher consciousness, to connect and align with it. And then we've got to clear our karmic emotional patterns so that we can then break through all the barriers and resistances of the ego, so that we can then embody and express that divinity and flow with our spirit without hesitation in the moment. Well, that is actually how we co-create heaven on earth. We co-create a better life for everyone. So I'm going to talk more about this on the mindbodyspiritradio.net repeat interviews over the next few days. So I hope you can join me. Thanks for listening.